Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. We have a lot of news stories to get through today, so do hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of them, and make sure you ring that bell. Now, Showbiz Sturgeon is the headline we're first going to look at here. After the council elections in 2022, it appears Nicola Sturgeon decided that she rather fancied a nice holiday to the United States. Not one that she wanted to pay for, of course. No. So she claimed it was foreign travel as First Minister. But it didn't do much good. She said it was to drive inward investment and that, but not a single thing can be shown to have come of it. So basically it seems that she's had a 3-day junket to the US for no reason whatsoever. Perhaps just to make sure that she feels important. Obviously, she likes airport lounges, and if she can be seen to be sitting in one in the United States, it'll give her a feeling of completeness, of roundness, of being on the world stage and being considered to be, quote, an important person, as opposed to really just the Lord Mayor of Scotland. So we'll take a look at this quick piece. We're not going to go too depth. It's not even a deep piece, but it does go to show, and it does go to the heart of her psyche and her belief that she is someone incredibly important, and she really isn't. Well, she is in her mind, of course, but not in anyone else's. Here goes. So, Showbiz Sturgeon's £5,000 junket to America had no specific outcome for Scotland's trade or economy. Of course not, because it was never designed to be anything other than Nicola Sturgeon going out there to massage her ego, to show the world how important she is. She didn't get to meet the president because she's not important to meet the president, but she did meet war criminal Nancy Pelosi, woman, another one of those who joins politics, and everyone knows how much she earns because of her salary as a politician, and has ended up a billionaire. So, I don't mind billionaires becoming politicians. I find it very odd when politicians become billionaires. So, there's a woman as well as who should really not be in politics any longer. Both of them, in fact. Because Pelosi must be about 110 years of age and has no idea what's going on. I think it's actually been shown to be, Alzheimer's or an alcoholic, one of the two. You can decide. She's another one who forgets, like Joe, she forgets where she is, she forgets what she's saying. There's been sort of videos over the recent years of her just sitting there, just often staring into space and completely losing the plot. We need to have an upper age. I think the world needs an upper age for politicians, and after that point, boom, you're done. Anyway, the former First Minister headed out to Washington DC in May 2022, shortly after the council elections, and was accused of going on an Indy Tour as she missed 2 days at Holyrood. It was a taxpayer-funded junket, and it offered no specific outcome to Scotland's economy and trade. Scottish government officials admitted. The former First Minister flew out to America on May 22, and the trip, which cost £5,615 for no reason whatsoever. And you can guarantee at that price, she went business class. She wasn't out in cattle class with the rest of us. Her 3-day jolly to the capital caused her. I'm surprised actually she hasn't bothered having Air Force One, Scotland's version of Air Force One. Caledonian one it would be, wouldn't it, or something like that? Because she would have felt important enough to have her own, jet, so she could travel around the world on world tours because she was important in her mind. A 3-day jolly to the capital caused a Ferrari back home, so she made the journey just days after leading the SNP to council election victories. Those days have gone, haven't they? Not going to be many of those days left. She also missed a number of days at Holyrood. These 2 days, including debates on education and health. Strangely enough, 2 issues at which the SNP are failing the worst. And it goes to show that she wasn't actually concerned about either. Which is possibly why they're in the state they're in. Now the Scottish Daily Express can reveal that no positive outcomes were reported following her trip to the USA, despite being praised as important to promote our country overseas. Well, it's not as though they don't know about it. Come on, they've all seen Braveheart. When defending it against accusations that it was just an Indy Tour, Ms Sturgeon pointed out that the USA remains one of Scotland's most important international trading partners and our biggest source of inward investment. Well, yeah, there you go. Then you're beating your own drum on that one, because if the US is already your biggest international trading partner and biggest international investor, then why are you going? You don't need to go over there to drum up interest. They already know. They're already pouring in, surely. No. This wasn't anything to promote Scotland. This was all to promote Nicola Sturgeon, to make sure people at home saw you meeting important people, shaking your hand, smiling, getting the pictures done, and as you walk away, they're going, "Who the fuck was that?" And that's what that was. In a response, an official to questions, official wrote, "Attracting trade and investment takes months and years, and is dependent on independent organisations' decisions. And for this reason, outcomes are not attached to specific visits, or in this case, at all." While in America last May, Ms Sturgeon gave a speech at the Brookings Institute in Washington DC and also discussed the UK's constitutional future with US politicians. And this is why I think that UK needs a Logan Act. I think we need a Logan Act where nobody outside of government can speak to foreign dignitaries or foreign politicians or anything like that. It must be a governmental to governmental thing. So no town mayor, effectively, no Lord Mayor can go abroad and speak on behalf of Britain, which she was attempting to do. And if we had a Logan Act, it would jail her. It would absolutely put her in jail. According to documents released by the Scottish Government, her flights and subsistence cost £5,615. Now that's a simple calculation. That's nearly £1,900 a day. A day for her to piss off for 3 days, jaunt to the US. Unbelievable, isn't it? It became a relatively controversial trip, as she came under fire back in Scotland after being accused of exaggerating the extent of her Skexit talks with Joe Biden's administration, but not Joe Biden. The president wouldn't see her. After she was claiming it was discussed, but the official statement from his office said that they only talked about climate change and the war in Ukraine, two things of which she can do absolutely nothing about, and so you have to wonder why the hell she was there. The journey to America was followed up by an expensive junket to COP27 in Egypt. She's racking up the air miles, isn't she? Never mind Air Miles Angus. Where it's Avios Nicola, isn't it? Avios Nicola, or at least now it's Adios Nicola. This is where Nicola Sturgeon and 25 officials stayed in luxury and racked up £150,000 of taxpayers' bills while staying out in the African country for 5 days. Here's the thing, she isn't one of the COP27 countries. The United Kingdom is. Scotland isn't. Scotland doesn't exist to these people. She had no reason to be there. She was sniffing around these people like a dog on heat, trying to get photo opportunities, trying to have a conversation. She isn't governmental level. These people, and I don't know if you remember this at the time, and she was like, there's somebody over there. Let's go and talk to him. And she ended up, and she had a photo opportunity with a chef or with a cook or something, didn't she? And one of the cleaners. And trying to make it look as though she was doing something important. And she was actually having conversations with hotel staff and passing that off as having high-level discussions. She is so up her own ego, isn't she? What an obnoxious little shart. Anyway, I shall round up and come up. It's just a funny little thing to start the day. And I do, like I say, I always like the fluffy ones to start the day. But what goes on in that mind? It's all me, isn't it? Anyway, I shall stop there. Come up. Do you know, I'm surprised she hasn't had a farewell tour. I'm surprised that when she was organising her resignation, she didn't decide to do a grand tour of Europe to say goodbye to all her international chums. Maybe round it off with a quick flight over to America so she can stand and talk to someone who was once someone in a small town somewhere. But, you know, picture in the paper, pretending that she's important. Wouldn't surprise me if she did it. You know, that would have summed her up totally. She is a nobody who is desperate to be a somebody. Just be a nobody. You're fine. You're nobody now. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you like what you're seeing here on the channel, please hit that subscribe button, ring the bell. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, and remember, She will soon be gone forever. Hooray! We can all get on with our lives without having that horrible, ugly little woman's face plastered all over the newspapers. Bye.